You know what? When you see what God's doing, what more can you say? I mean, he's the one behind everything, right? We step into a spot as intercessors to a spot where we let his love begin to flow. Yeah, but the bottom line is what you need to do is be able to connect to him, which he's in here, and allow that grace to flow. So sometimes we get connected into the tragedy, the trauma, the event, and we don't get connected to the Lord. Remember, so you get connected to him here, heart to heart, his sacred heart to yours, and they get to melt as one. And this grace flows through you, and then it goes to the other person. Okay, if I just keep that grace in me, and I become a vacuum, yeah, I'll feel something, but that's not the way it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to release it back out to the body. And that's how it works. And that's when healings happen. And that's why I'll encourage you, like little Thomas. I remember he was sitting right where you're sitting. His dad was sitting right next to him. Little Thomas had a brain tumor. This was about a little over a year ago, and 10 years old. And again, we prayed over him. That first night, everyone's heart just melted. 40 people just gathered around little Thomas, and he's just bawling. He's just crying. And he felt something happening. And then about 3 months later, they did a scan, and it was clear of any cancer. Okay? But you know what? I'd grab him after that first time. I would grab him by the hand, and I said, come on over here. Come on, Thomas. I want you to pray over this one. And then, oh, come on over here, Thomas. I want you to pray over this one. See, get the river flowing. Get that river that Ray's talking about that begins to flow. That river, that grace is of God that wants to heal us and set us free. It begins to flow back out again. It's going to heal us emotionally, physically, and spiritually, but it's going to also flow out to the others. And little Thomas will go out there. There's a guy sitting in the very back by that window, and he walked up to him. And I wasn't there. Usually I would just follow him, and I'd say, okay, now Thomas, say this, and pray like this. And I would teach him, and he'd listen to every word. Okay. And he would do every little thing I said. And again, that's a child. That's how a child prays, right? He listens to the Father. Isn't that what Jesus did? He listens to the Father. And we're supposed to pray like he prays. But adults, we just are, I don't know if I feel comfortable with that, Jerry. And, I mean, we put all our own baggage on this stuff. We need to be like little children. So Thomas went back there, and he's talking to him. This guy was just diagnosed with lymphoma. And it didn't look good. And the doctor's trying to figure out what treatment and everything else to do and everything else. Little Thomas walked, and if I remember correctly, he laid hands on him, and he said, like, God's got this, you're healed. And then he walks away from him. And then when he gave his testimony later, he just said, this little 10-year-old kid's telling me this stuff. And I'm going, what? And then the following week, he went to the doctors. They can't find any cancer. And again, so this is how it happens, that river flowing.
Thank you for watching our video. Please pray for our ministry. If you feel moved to donate, please go to our website intercessorsofthetrinity.org. Look for the donate button or mailing address.